If you're still creating your YouTube thumbnails in Canva or in Photoshop, I have bad news for you. You're wasting your time. But the good news I have for you is now you can automate your YouTube thumbnail creation using Nano Banana and N8N. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use Nano Banana 2 to automatically create your YouTube thumbnails in N8N. I'll also be giving away this workflow that I'm going to show you at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. So the new Nano Banana Pro is the best image generating model out there, and it stands out in one criteria that we've all been struggling with when it comes to generating AI images. And that was that it doesn't get the text right on the image and it just starts writing gibberish. Well, with Nano Banana Pro, it is not the case. You can now give the model a prompt that says that it should include a certain word or a text or a sentence in the image, and it will actually generate it, as you can see in this example here. This is kie.ai, and we're going to be using Nano Banana using their API keys, mainly because it is cheaper. It is only 12 cents per image, and you don't get the Gemini watermark at the bottom right. So now that you know what Nano Banana Pro is, let's jump into the workflow. Okay, so this is our beautiful and simple workflow. It's only a few nodes, so no spaghetti workflows there. And the first node or our trigger is a form. And the form looks something like this. It takes in your video script or a summary, a video title, and the concept of the thumbnail. So pretty much what you want the thumbnail to be or to look like. And for the example that I'm going to show you, I had this thumbnail, not the thumbnail, I had this video title, N8N for business owners, 3 workflows you can actually use, not just theory. The concept is me standing and pointing at 3 text fields saying email classifier, lead research workflow, and email autoresponder, also with the N8N logo and their workflow design somewhere visible somewhere. And this is obviously pretty vague, so you can go way deeper into details. And I actually use a video script. So when you have all of the 3, you just hit submit and the workflow will trigger. Then we just use a set node just to set the parameters that we have, title, script, and the concept, and then we pass it to a summarized transcript just in case that we actually had the full transcript, and the summary is just a shorter one, basically explaining what the video is all about and what we're talking about and what we are showing. Then we will pass it to the idea generator. This will take the input, so our title, the concept, and the transcript, and it will generate us ideas on how the thumbnail should be, and we pass those ideas as a prompt to Nano Banana 2 Pro. So the idea generator has this persona, so that the prompt is in Markdown, and the persona is you are a world-class YouTube thumbnail designer and performance strategist. You specialize in creating high contrast, scroll stopping thumbnails optimized for CTR. You understand viewer psychology, pattern interrupts, and the split-second decisions that determine whether someone clicks. You balance bold visual impact with brand consistency. You have exceptional spatial awareness and understand how thumbnails render at small sizes, mobile, sidebar, and home feed. And then we give it the task of taking the input we gave it, and it should create thumbnails. And we just have it mandatory that the creator, so in this case me, always appears on the thumbnail. Then we gave it a few instructions and different thumbnail variations, how they should be differentiated, and a element list breakdown. So the element list is what will actually be visible on the thumbnail. So it can be this logo, this color, this visual, and whatever that might be, the pose, the expressions, and where I'm standing or where the creator is standing. And we just need like different just different variations. And then the color palette and the design principles, those are your guidelines, your brand guidelines. So how your brand is presenting itself. Is it like more flashy? Is it more like calm and doesn't do like extra and extreme things, so just like unnecessary stuff. And yeah, just to get that, you can use your website if you have one. You can have an AI analyze it. You can just paste in your URL, or you can take screenshots of the website, and the AI will give you like your design principles and your guidelines. And yeah, or you can create them yourself, and if you have like a specific design that you want to maintain. And yeah, well, we're giving it like a few things to avoid. Like, I don't like this guru cliches and like a lot of hype. And the output format is just the JSON with the strategic deconstruction and the thumbnail variations, which we will split. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the idea generator. Then, as I said, we will split the thumbnail variations. So we have like the three different items, and then we pass them to one last LLM, and this just converts the ideas into our prompt template for Nano Banana, and it maintains the consistency with the prompt, and it also maintains one thing, which is the character limit. So we're going to be using kie.ai, and I'm going to show you the dashboard and how to get the API key in a second. But yeah, we want to make sure that that the prompt is always the same, and it just changes the thumbnail variations, and the character limit is under 5,000, and it's more than 3,000, because if it's over 5,000, you will just get an error and it will not work. So the prompt that we have is like this: mission to create this and this in this size and this format, so 3:2 or 16:9, whatever. And our brand guidelines, so for me it's the dark tech premium. And yeah, and then we have the reference images that I'm going to show you in a second, and then the element list, like how it should be structured. And then we have our input here. So for some reason this is undefined, but we can just go ahead and grab it back here. All right, so yeah, this is it. And the creator face, okay, this is I removed. It will always have the creator face. So yeah, this is it for the final prompt, and then we actually go and get our reference images. So to be able to use reference images, we need to have them stored in a public space. So we can get a public URL and pass it to Nano Banana. And in my case, I am using Supabase. And to get the reference images, or to even upload reference images, you need to create a Supabase account first of all, and then go down to storage, then to files, create your bucket. So if we just go back to files, I have this bucket here. It's called YouTube thumbnails, and you have to set the in the bucket settings to public bucket, otherwise you will not be able to get the URLs. And in it you can create a file. I have this reference images, and I have an example a thumbnail example, which I will pass to Nano Banana, which is this, and I have few reference images. Now when it comes to the reference images, you gotta make sure they are as high quality as you possibly can, and not do it like me, because I can take photos here in my room because of the shit lighting, and I just took like a few selfies that I use. I mean, like some those are the only pictures of myself that I have. So the better the quality, the better the output will be. And yeah, when you have this file / the bucket, you just go back to your to your workflow, and the URL we will use in the HTTP request. It will include your reference URL from Supabase. So whatever your project is, you can see it in your URL. So when you're on Google or in your browser, whatever, you will see that it has like some random letters. That is your reference URL, and then .supabase.co, and then storage v1 object list, and then the bucket name. So for me, it is YouTube thumbnails. You just add your Supabase credentials, and in the JSON body, the prefix is your folder name. So for me, it's reference images. So it's just the folder name and the slash, and you can set the limit, the offset, and sort by name and order ascending, and you will get this output. You will get all the files and the images you have, and you get their names. So now we have the images. Now we just gotta make sure everything is ready for Nano Banana. So we have 6 images to reference. You don't even need that many. If you just have like 1 or 2 high quality images that you can use, that would be fine. You can just stand in front of a white wall with good lighting and just have your have a friend or have a family member take the picture of you, and that is it. And then we pass the reference images and the prompts that we have to this JavaScript code. And what this pretty much does is it formats the public URL for the images, which is structured like this. You have your reference or your project name or project URL, and the storage v1 object, and then you just add public between object and your bucket name, and at the end you have your file or folder name, and we just add the image names or the file names at the end of this URL, and we get the prompts. So the output will be each prompt with the reference images that we're going to use, so we can pass them to the Nano Banana in one HTTP request. So the output will then be something like this. You have your link, the public link, reference URL, storage v1 object, public, the bucket name, the file name, and then the image name, and that is your public URL. And then in Nano Banana, to get an API key, so as I said, we're going to be using kie.ai, and you just go to kie.ai, create an account, add a few credits, and then here on the left side on the dashboard, you just go to API key and create API key, get that key, and just paste it in the authorization. So your post request is api.kie.ai/api/v1/jobs/create task, and we just put the authorization. And your JSON body, you can just grab it from the Nano Banana Pro, from their API here, and if you scroll down, you will have the request body and how it should be structured, and the parameters that you can use, and how to choose the resolution, how to choose the aspect ratio, and the output format. And you have this request example that you can just copy and paste in the C URL. So if you create an HTTP request and then import C URL and just paste everything here and click import, you will have this pretty much ready. You just have to drag and drop the input. So our input, we're using the model Nano Banana Pro. The input is the prompt that we generated, and the image input, I decided not to use that many. I've just decided to stick to 3 images. The aspect ratio I chose is 3:2. Resolution, it should be 4K. I just used 2K because the limit or the size limit on YouTube is 2 megabytes, and the The images in 4K are normally way bigger than that. So we just get a 2K image, and then you can use an upscaler to scale it to 2 megabytes, get the maximum out of it, and also to reduce the runtime. And I'm choosing the output format in JPG. So that is pretty much it. You just hit execute step, and it will give you the task ID. So each prompt has its own task ID, and yeah, we then wait. I have a wait node for 10 minutes. This is enough time for Nano Banana to generate the 3 images, and yeah, then we get their URLs. So to get the URL, you need this URL in the HTTP request. So it is the API. I think it's also available here in the API documentation. Yeah, query task, you just get this. You can copy this and add it or import it as a C URL here, and it's pretty much done. You just add your API key, and then drag the task ID from your schema, and if it's ready, it will say success. And if you scroll down, this is your entire request, and the result JSON is the result URLs, and this is then what we need to this is then pretty much our thumbnail. So to extract this URL, you can just format it or pass it to an LLM, but I like to use a JSON. This is not written by me, this is all from Claude. I just gave it the output, this entire output structure of one of the images, and I told it, look, this is the output. I'm trying to extract the result URL, and that is it. It just gave me this code, and it returned the array of the 3 images that we generated, and then we split them. And just to show you the results, because this is not going to be the final results, the images are good, but as you can see, this is not me. So it's not as you can be lucky, and Nano Banana actually generates your face, and pretty good. This one is a bit better, but you can clearly see that it's not me. And the third one is this. So the thumbnails, as they are very good, very professional, and match my brand. But I have an issue with the face. So if you're happy with your thumbnail being at 80%, 90% of your actual face, you can just go ahead and use this, and yeah, be happy with it. But if you want to take it one more step to make sure that it gets your face right, then you should stick around for this. To make sure that we have a thumbnail that actually uses our face, we will use fal.ai, and we're going to use their Flux context trainer, and we will use the LoRa trainer for Flux. So fal.ai lets you use all the image generating models. So it's pretty much like kie.ai, but this has a trainer, and the trainer trains the image generating model on a input and how the output should be. So the input can be or should be an AI generated image of yourself, or you give the AI or an LLM a description of how you actually look like. You can just give it an image, say describe the looks of this person, take that and use an AI to generate an image, or you can use that actual image and have it AI generated. And when you do this, you just got to make sure that the image quality is good, the lighting is good, and the image should be the best possible image. Now, because I don't have that many images that I can use, and I'm just pretty much using selfies, like this is an example that I used this image of myself, but as you can see, the lights or the lighting isn't really natural, and it is hard to read my facial structure. And I just said to the AI, generate an image, and use this as a reference, and the output should be someone that looks like me but isn't really me, someone that I would go up to on the street thinking that it is me, but when I get closer, it's actually not me. So you just gotta make sure that you use a good end image with good lighting, bright lighting, and where you look the best you possibly can be. And then we will use, as I said, Flux to train it, and you just add the pairs. I recommend at least 10 pictures, but when you add the start and the end image, there should be a clear indicator which one is the start one and which one is the end one. And you just follow this those instructions on how to structure the image pairs. So you just give it like an index, a number, underscore start for the start image, and then underscore end for the end image. And the steps, this is like how many steps it should take to train the image generator on the start and end. 1,000 steps is I think $2.50, and you can go ahead and increase it as much as you want. And then we have the default caption. The default caption should be like an explanation of what what we actually training it on, and it should have a trigger word that is written in caps. So if I show you the output, sorry, not the output, if I show you the where was it again? No, just click run inference and just move this. I gave it will appear as the prompt, which is transform this person into Mehi face, and this will be the trigger word. You should add more details, like this is Mehi face. It's in my case, a Middle Eastern man in his mid-20s, has a light beard, messy, wavy, dark hair, and just like small explanations. And if I go back now to the training, so when the training is done, it can take up to 10 minutes depending on how many steps. You just click show the output, and the output has this URL, and you just copy this URL because we're gonna need it, and we will use that in the HTTP request. But first you gotta get your API key from fal.ai, and then we will go into the HTTP request. So in the HTTP request for Flux or for fal.ai, we have this URL that we're going to be sending the HTTP request to, and the authorization is key and your API key that you get from fal.ai, and the prompt is always the same. Now that because I gave my Flux trainer little instructions, just transform this person into Mehi face, I decided to give it here a bit more. So Mehi face features must be maintained. His egg head shape, I guess I have a head shape as an egg. The skull size, the jaw structure, and my glasses that are round framed, and my beard style. And I just said it's important that the glasses have a round frame and are silver. And then the path here, the first path, is the one that you get from your Flux training. And the scale, you can keep it at 1. I just like to increase it to 1.1. You can test that out in the playground before you generate or before you use it in the HTTP request. So if you just go run inference, it will open the playground. It will have the prompt ready, the path ready, and you just add the image. And I also added this. This just enhances the quality and the facial expressions and the facial structure when using a Flux model, I recommend you use that. This will just make sure that, you know, it actually looks like you, and it reduces the AI effects in an image. And the scale, just keep it low, below 0.5. Again, you can test it out. And then the embeddings here, we just have the image URL, keep those the same, and yeah, and that is it. And then you can go ahead and execute the step, and then we will just wait. I have a wait for 3 minutes, and then we will check the face swap status, and the HTTP request for that is the status URL returned from the face swap with Flux context HTTP request. So here the response URL, and you just add your authorization, your API key, and we have an if node just in case it's not finished after 3 minutes. It just reruns again, and then when it is finally done, we use the response URL to get the image URL, the public in the public URL, and we just split them and add an HTTP request to get the binary files. And because this is pinned, you cannot see it. So if I go ahead, unpin this and just run it real quick just to show you the results. Now mine are not gonna be as good or as consistent as they should be because of the images that I picked, but it is definitely better than the one generated from or generated using Nano Banana itself, unless, you know, you just get lucky and the model gets your face correct. But yeah, those are the results after Flux used the model that is trained on my images. And yeah, that is the end results. I like this one the most, and it's also, in my opinion at least, it looks the most similar to me. So yeah, I gotta go into a photo studio and just get some better images of myself and run that again, and then you can go ahead and upload it to a Google folder just to keep track. But yeah, this is the simple workflow for generating YouTube thumbnails, and you will be able to get this workflow and download it. You just gotta get your own credentials. I will be giving this away in the link in the description. There will be a Google folder, and you can just go ahead and download this. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate if you can leave a like and subscribe for more videos on how to effectively use AI. And if you're a business owner who wants to use AI but don't know where to start, there will be a link in the description for a free AI assessment. The assessment will take you about 5 minutes, and after that you will get clear results and see if AI is actually useful for your business or not. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.